Welcome back, coin lovers, treasure hunters. Today, we're diving into the unbelievable story of a tiny coin that could change your life forever. The rare top 9 most expensive and most valuable Roosevelt 1 dime. What looks like just 10 cents in your pocket could actually be worth millions of dollars, turning ordinary people into overnight millionaires. Stay tuned, because this little piece of American history might just be the fortune you never knew you had. Let's get started. First up in the story of the 1984 P. Roosevelt dime is one wrapped in mystery, rarity, and unimaginable worth. While most people glance at their pocket change without a second thought, coin collectors and treasure hunters know that even the smallest coin could hold extraordinary value. The Roosevelt dime, featuring the strong yet calm profile of Franklin D. Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States, has long carried symbolic weight. On its obverse, Roosevelt faces left, with the proud motto "In God We Trust" and the simple yet powerful word "Liberty" etched beside him. Beneath it lies the 1984 P mint mark, a tiny detail that, in the right circumstances, could transform this small dime into a fortune worth millions. The reverse of the Roosevelt dime carries even deeper meaning. It is not just a coin, it is a message. At its center, a torch blazes, symbolizing liberty, flanked by an olive branch representing peace, and an oak branch signifying strength and victory. Encircling these proud symbols are the words "United States of America" and the enduring motto "E pluribus unum," meaning "out of many, one." The denomination "1 dime" appears at the bottom, reminding us of its modest face value. But collectors know this dime can far surpass its original worth. For some lucky owners, that humble 1 dime could mean the difference between ordinary life and sudden unimaginable wealth. Now, you may be wondering, what makes the 1984 P dime so extraordinary? It lies not only in its age, but in its rarity and mysterious standing among collectors. While billions of dimes were struck in the 1980s, only a handful of error-struck or rare mint condition examples survived the test of time. A flawless 1984 P dime with pristine luster, no scratches, and a perfect strike could sell for astronomical sums at auctions. It is whispered among numismatists that some examples are worth hundreds of thousands, even millions of dollars, because collectors compete fiercely for perfection, rarity, and history combined into one small piece of metal. Imagine holding such a coin in your hand. To the untrained eye, it looks like an ordinary dime you'd toss into a vending machine or leave as change on a cafe counter. But to collectors, this single coin could represent a hidden treasure chest. Stories circulate of rare Roosevelt dimes being discovered in dusty old jars, passed down in family heirlooms, or even hidden away in forgotten coin rolls from the bank. Each of these discoveries sends shockwaves through the coin-collecting world, because the possibility of turning a 10-cent coin into millions of dollars captures everyone's imagination. The 1984 P dime is tied closely to the legacy of Franklin D. Roosevelt himself. Roosevelt, who guided the nation through the Great Depression and most of World War II, is honored on the dime as a symbol of strength, resilience, and leadership. His image on this tiny coin is more than decoration. It's a piece of American history, frozen in metal. For collectors, the value goes beyond the silver or copper-nickel composition. It's about the story it tells, the man it represents, and the era it connects us to. That emotional and historical weight only adds to the desirability of rare, high-value examples. Another fascinating aspect lies in the idea of bicentennial coins. Although the 1984 P dime is not officially a bicentennial issue like the special 1776 to 1976 coins, many collectors place it in the same category of rarity and national importance. In the hobby, the term bicentennial has come to symbolize more than just a date. It signifies coins with historic resonance and extraordinary value. That's why even ordinary-looking dimes from 1984, when found in rare variations, are elevated to legendary status among collectors and investors alike. Think about it. One moment, you're holding what seems like spare change, and the next, in conclusion, the 1984 P. Roosevelt dime is more than just currency. It's a legend, a hidden treasure disguised as everyday change. With its timeless portrait of Franklin D. Roosevelt, its patriotic reverse design, and its mysterious connection to fortune, it has earned a place in the hearts of collectors worldwide. Rare examples of this coin can fetch millions, turning ordinary people into overnight billionaires. So before you dismiss that old dime in your pocket, take a closer look. You might just be holding the key to a fortune, a piece of American history, and a story that will last forever. Next up, in the year 1966 produced a coin that, at first glance, looks like any other Roosevelt dime. Yet within the world of rare coin collecting, this small piece of metal has sparked conversations of unimaginable wealth and legendary value. Known to many as one of the most talked about bicentennial rare dimes, the 1966 Roosevelt dime holds a mystique that few other coins can rival. It carries the proud portrait of Franklin D. Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States, his profile etched with dignity and strength, reminding us of a leader who guided America through one of its toughest eras. To millions of collectors and fortune seekers today, this dime is more than just spare change. It is a hidden treasure. On the obverse side, Roosevelt's portrait faces left, framed by the iconic motto, "In God We Trust," and the bold lettering "Liberty." At the bottom rests the date 1966, a reminder of a decade filled with transformation, progress, and great change in America. This design, though ordinary to most, is the very foundation of what makes the coin so appealing. Every scratch, every shine, and every imperfection tells a story. Collectors worldwide have sought after this coin, not merely for its silver hue or its design, but because some rare variations and error strikes have been rumored to fetch astonishing amounts in today's market. Flip the coin to its reverse, and you'll see why its symbolism is so powerful. Here stands the eagle, wings stretched wide, perched proudly on a bundle of arrows, a symbol of America's readiness to defend its liberty. Beneath it lies the wreath of olive sprays, carrying the eternal message of peace. The inscriptions "United States of America" and "E Pluribus Unum" surround the design, echoing the nation's unity and resilience. And right at the bottom, the face value, 1 dime, reminds us that this coin, once worth only 10 cents, could today be worth millions. That contrast alone is what electrifies coin collectors and fortune hunters alike. What makes coins like the 1966 dime so irresistible is the idea that everyday objects can hide extraordinary wealth. Imagine holding what seems like a simple coin in your hand, only to realize it could change your entire life. These bicentennial-era dimes, though common in appearance, have rare versions, errors, and minting anomalies that elevate their worth into unimaginable figures. Some stories even speak of specific 1,966 dimes trading hands for thousands, or even millions, depending on condition, rarity, and historical demand. For many, this dime has become the dream ticket to overnight riches. Collectors know that the magic of a coin lies not just in its metal, but in its history. The 1966 Roosevelt dime is deeply tied to America's cultural memory. The olive branch, the torch, and the oak branch on the reverse are more than decorations. They symbolize peace, liberty, and victory. These are values every American cherishes, and they are immortalized in this coin's small frame. When paired with the portrait of Roosevelt, the coin becomes not just money, but a story, a legacy pressed into metal, a piece of history that can still circulate in pockets or sit quietly in a drawer until someone realizes its value. Now here's where the thrill begins. Many people today unknowingly carry coins that are worth far more than their face value. Imagine finding a 1966 dime in a jar of old coins, not realizing that this could be the very coin that turns you into a millionaire. This sense of mystery and discovery has made coin collecting one of the most exciting hobbies in the world. For some, it's not just a hobby, it's a life-changing pursuit. The thought that your fortune could be hiding in plain sight makes every old coin worth inspecting. The 1966 dime also represents the larger phenomenon of bicentennial rare coins. Collectors from around the globe chase these treasures because they embody America's spirit during a time of national pride and historical celebration. While most circulated coins have little more than sentimental worth, certain rare pieces, whether due to minting errors, limited runs, or pristine preservation, skyrocket in value. Some have sold for the kind of prices that make headlines. some's large enough to buy luxury cars, mansions, or even set someone for life. And yes, stories abound of dimes that have turned ordinary people into overnight millionaires. It's this unpredictability that drives the craze. With coins like the 1966. So, if you have old American coins lying around, take a closer look, especially if you happen upon a 1966 dime. The ordinary can sometimes turn out to be extraordinary. These coins carry history, symbolism, and, in rare cases, unimaginable wealth. Don't overlook them, don't spend them casually, because you never know, the very coin in your hand could be your ticket to unimaginable fortune. The 1966 Roosevelt dime is more than metal. It is mystery, legacy, and wealth all rolled into one tiny piece of history. Next up in the world of coin collecting is filled with mystery, excitement, and stories of unimaginable wealth hidden in the smallest of objects. Among the most fascinating treasures is the 2018 D. Roosevelt dime, a coin that has gained legendary status in discussions about rare and valuable American coins. At first glance, it might look like just another dime you'd use in everyday purchases, but to collectors and historians, this little piece of metal could represent a fortune worth millions. What makes it even more remarkable is how ordinary it appears. Most people would never guess that such extraordinary value could be hiding in the palm of their hand. The obverse, or front side, of this coin features the iconic portrait of Franklin D. Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States. His face looks left, carrying with it a symbol of determination and leadership during one of the most difficult periods in American history, the Great Depression and World War II. Surrounding his image are the words, "Liberty," and "In God We Trust," along with the date 2018 and the mint mark D, which stands for the Denver Mint. This isn't just a coin. It's a piece of history struck in honor of a leader whose influence still resonates through time. The fact that such a familiar design hides within it the potential for staggering wealth is what truly captivates collectors. Turning the coin over, the reverse side offers even more layers of symbolism. At the center is a torch, representing liberty, flanked by an olive branch, a symbol of peace, and an oak branch, a symbol of victory and strength. Together, these three images tell the story of the American spirit, freedom, harmony, and resilience. Encircling these powerful emblems are the words United States of America, E pluribus unum, and one dime. These details might seem like standard engravings on an everyday coin, but for numismatists, the passionate experts and collectors, every curve, every letter, and every symbol can carry secrets that set certain coins apart from the millions of others struck in the same year. So, what makes the 2018 D. Roosevelt dime so special? It's not merely the design, which remains faithful to its tradition, but rather its rarity, condition, and potential minting errors that make it one of the most talked about modern coins. In the world of coin collecting, rarity is the heartbeat of value. While billions of dimes may circulate through pockets, vending machines, and cash registers, a small fraction are struck with microscopic differences, unusual die errors, or exceptional mint quality that immediately elevates them from common change to priceless artifacts. One reason the 2018 D-dime has drawn such fascination is the legend of error coins. Imagine a coin struck slightly off-center, with doubled letters, or with a missing mint mark. These tiny accidents at the minting stage transform an otherwise ordinary dime into an ultra-rare collectible. Some error coins from different years have fetched prices in the hundreds of thousands, and when rumors swirl of a 2018 D-error dime existing in pristine condition, collectors cannot resist the hunt. It becomes a chase, a treasure hunt hidden in everyday pockets and change jars, pushing the imagination to wonder if the next dime you stumble upon might make you a millionaire overnight. But rarity alone doesn't explain the astonishing values collectors are willing to pay. Condition is equally vital. A dime that has been in circulation, scuffed, and worn by years of use might still hold some collectible value, but it's the mint state and proof-like specimens that drive prices into the stratosphere. Coins graded by professional agencies at the highest levels, MS 67, MS 68, or even the nearly flawless MS 70, can command jaw-dropping sums at auction. Collectors want perfection, and perfection is scarce, especially for coins that were intended for everyday use rather than display. Another fascinating element is the emotional connection people feel toward Roosevelt dimes. Roosevelt himself was the champion of the March of Dimes campaign, a movement that raised funds to combat polio. His image on the dime is a tribute to his dedication to public health and social welfare. Owning a rare Roosevelt dime is not just about wealth. It's about holding a piece of American spirit, a remin. In the end, the story of the 2018 D. Roosevelt dime is not just about a coin. It's about possibility. It's about the thrill of discovery, the shock of realizing that something so small and ordinary could carry unimaginable value. It's about history, artistry, chance, and fortune all converging on a single piece of metal that fits easily into your pocket. For some, it's just 10 cents. But for those who know its secrets, it's a ticket to wealth, a symbol of luck, and perhaps even a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. So next time you come across a dime, pause for a moment, because you might just be holding your future fortune in your hand. Next up to in the year 1979 marked more than just another minting cycle for U.S. coins. It was the year that gave us one of the most fascinating and rare Roosevelt dimes ever struck, the 1979 D. This coin, minted in Denver, carries with it a story of history, mystery, and unimaginable value in today's market. While it may look like an ordinary dime to the casual eye, hidden within its design, its rarity, and its condition lies the potential to change someone's life forever. Collectors across the world know that sometimes the smallest coin in your pocket could be worth more than gold, and the 1979 D. Roosevelt dime is a shining example of that possibility. On the obverse of this coin is the timeless portrait of Franklin D. Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States. His profile, facing left, stands as a tribute not only to his leadership during some of the most turbulent years of American history, but also to his lasting impact on the nation's spirit. Above his image, the word liberty reminds us of the very foundation of America. To the left is the motto, "In God We Trust," a phrase that has echoed across U.S. coinage for decades, and below rests the date, 1979, alongside the all-important D mint mark. This little letter, denoting the Denver Mint, is what makes the coin unique and desirable, because every mint has its own striking characteristics, and certain runs in Denver were produced with errors or in extremely limited numbers. Turning to the reverse of the coin, the artistry becomes even more symbolic. At the very center, we see the torch of liberty, burning bright, unyielding, and eternal. To its left rests an olive branch, representing peace, and to its right stands an oak branch, symbolizing strength and victory. Together, these three emblems tell the story of America's enduring resilience. Surrounding this imagery are the powerful words United States of America and the proud national motto, E pluribus unum, meaning out of many, one. At the bottom, the denomination reads boldly, 1 dime. To collectors, these are not just words. They are markers of authenticity, history, and potential wealth. Now, what truly sets the 1979 D. Roosevelt dime apart is not simply its design, but its extraordinary rarity in pristine conditions and its potential errors. Coins struck with even the slightest doubling, off-center strikes, or unusual die varieties can instantly catapult in value from mere cents to thousands, or even millions, of dollars. Imagine finding a dime in your collection with such imperfections. What many overlook as a mistake, collectors see as a treasure. This is why the 1979 D, especially in flawless, uncirculated condition or with rare minting anomalies, has become one of the most talked about coins in modern American numismatics. The value of these coins skyrockets when they are graded at the highest levels by professional grading services. A 1979 D. Roosevelt dime preserved in mint state condition, gleaming as though it just left the die yesterday, can demand staggering sums at auction. And when errors come into play, be it doubled dies, repunched mint marks, or striking irregularities, the bidding wars among collectors can push the price into unbelievable territory. We are talking about coins that, in the right circumstances, could make a person an overnight millionaire. The sheer excitement of this possibility is what drives both seasoned collectors and new treasure hunters to examine every dime that passes through their hands. But it's not just about money. It's about the thrill of history resting in your palm. Each 1979 D dime carries with it a story of America's journey, minted during a decade of cultural shifts and economic challenges. These coins witnessed the era of disco, the technological leap toward personal computers, and the beginnings of a globalized world. Holding such a dime is like holding a time capsule of 1979, a reminder of where the nation was and how far it has come. For many collectors, the emotional and historical value of owning such a piece is as important as its financial worth. Another fascinating aspect lies in the myths and stories surrounding these rare coins. Collectors often whisper about lost batches, experimental mintings, and undiscovered hoards waiting to be found. Could there still be rolls of untouched 1979 D. Roosevelt dimes hiding in old Van? Conclusion: the 1979 D. Roosevelt dime is far more than just a 10-cent piece. It is a symbol of hidden fortune, national pride, and the extraordinary surprises that history leaves behind. Whether you are a passionate collector, a curious beginner, or simply someone with a jar of old coins, this dime represents the chance of a lifetime. Don't underestimate its power. One day, a coin you almost spent at the store could become the ticket to unimaginable wealth. Remember, treasures are not always locked in safes or museums. They may be resting quietly in your own hands, waiting for you to recognize their true value. Next up to in the 1977 United States Roosevelt dime is one of those coins that carries with it an air of mystery, fascination, and the allure of unimaginable value. On its obverse, we see the portrait of Franklin D. Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States, his image forever captured in left-facing profile. Alongside his portrait, the words "Liberty" and "In God We Trust" remind us not only of American ideals, but also of the enduring history that coins represent. Beneath Roosevelt's chin, the date 1977 marks the year, while the small mint mark, whether from Denver, Philadelphia, or San Francisco, adds another layer of collectability for coin enthusiasts. Turning the coin over, the reverse design is rich with national symbolism. An olive branch, a torch, and an oak branch dominate the imagery, symbols that represent peace, liberty, and victory. They are accompanied by the proud national motto, E pluribus unum, meaning, out of many, one. Around the edge, the bold inscriptions declare, United States of America, and one dime. This is more than pocket change. It is artistry in miniature, crafted to reflect the strength and values of the nation. Collectors often speak of bicentennial dimes, even though no official Roosevelt dime was struck with a bicentennial dual date like the quarters, halves, and dollars of 1976. This confusion has only fueled myths and legends around certain years, including 1977. Some claim these coins can be tied to rare minting errors, unusual compositions, or secret test strikes, creating a sense of hidden treasure waiting to be discovered in a simple handful of change. And in the world of numismatics, even myths hold power because they keep collectors. What makes a 1977 dime, or any dime for that matter, potentially valuable isn't just its age, but rather its condition and rarity. Coins struck in mint state, with razor-sharp details and flawless surfaces, can fetch hundreds or even thousands of dollars at auction. Add in the possibility of a minting error, like a double die, off-center strike, or a coin struck on the wrong planchet, and suddenly, a small silver-colored dime could be worth more than a brand-new car. These dramatic price jumps ignite the imaginations of collectors and treasure hunters alike. The fascinating part of this story is how ordinary people can stumble upon extraordinary wealth. Imagine finding a 1977 dime in your drawer, a dime you've overlooked for years, only to discover it carries a rare flaw that transforms it into a fortune. Such possibilities make every old coin a mystery box, an object with the potential to rewrite your financial destiny. This is why collectors handle coins with magnifying glasses, searching for the slightest irregularities that could mean the difference between 10 cents and $10,000. The Roosevelt Dime Series, launched in 1946 to honor the president who led the nation through the Great Depression and World War II, was never meant to be more than a functional coin. Yet over the decades, these dimes have evolved into artifacts of history. The 1977 issue sits at an interesting point in that journey, bridging the bicentennial years of 1976 with the economic shifts of the late 1970s. It's a reminder of a turbulent yet ambitious period in American life, where inflation was rising but optimism about the future still ran deep. What makes discussions of rare bicentennial dimes so captivating is the dream of overnight wealth. People are enchanted by the idea that a coin worth 10 cents could be misidentified, forgotten, or underappreciated, and then suddenly reveal itself as a $1 million rarity. Stories circulate of coins selling for staggering amounts at auctions, creating a sense that anyone, anywhere, might stumble upon a hidden gem that transforms their fortune instantly. But beyond the fantasy, there is truth in the fact that rare U.S. coins can bring unimaginable prices. Numismatic history is filled with examples, unique errors, low mintage proofs, or experimental strikes that sold for 6 or even 7 figures. The 1977 dime, though common in circulation, belongs to this wider family of U.S. coinage where hidden treasures genuinely exist. That's why collectors guard their coins so carefully, studying every detail and preserving them in pristine condition, just in case they hold something extraordinary. The thrill of coin collecting is not just about money. It is about discovery, history, and ownership of a great and new O. So the next time you come across a dime dated 1977, pause for a moment. Look closer. Study the details. Is it flawless, gleaming, and crisp? Does it carry an error no one else has noticed? Could this little silver-colored coin be the key to unimaginable wealth? Many dismiss dimes as the smallest, least significant pieces of change, but history proves that sometimes the smallest things carry the greatest fortunes. The 1977 Roosevelt dime might just be waiting to change someone's life forever. Next up to in the year 1967 marked a significant era for coin collectors in the United States, as the Roosevelt dime continued its circulation without a mint mark due to special conditions. While many people see a dime as just 10 cents, the truth is far more fascinating. Some of these dimes hold unimaginable value today, especially when they fall into the rare and highly desirable category of bicentennial-related finds. Imagine reaching into your pocket change and pulling out a simple coin, only to realize it's worth millions. That dream is exactly what has kept collectors searching for rare 1967 dimes with unique qualities, errors, and extraordinary historical significance. At the heart of this coin lies the portrait of Franklin D. Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States. Facing left, his image symbolizes leadership during one of America's most challenging times, the Great Depression and World War II. The bold inscriptions, "Liberty" and "In God We Trust," frame his portrait, along with the date 1967, reminding us that even the smallest coin carries with it a story of national pride, resilience, and faith. For collectors, the Roosevelt dime is not just money. It is a miniature monument to a president who shaped the modern United States. Flip the coin over, and the beauty of the reverse design takes center stage. The intricate details include an olive branch for peace, an oak branch for strength and victory, and a blazing torch symbolizing liberty itself. These three powerful symbols are tied together with the eternal motto, E pluribus unum, out of many, one. Surrounding them is the coin's denomination, 1 dime, and the proud inscription, United States of America. Every curve, every line, every symbol was carefully chosen to reflect the nation's ideals. It is this artistry combined with history that transforms the 1967 dime into a prized collectible. But what truly drives the unbelievable value of some 1967 dimes is their rarity in the world of numismatics. Millions of dimes were minted that year, but only a few rare examples stand out because of special characteristics such as striking errors, unusual metal compositions, or proof-like finishes. Collectors crave the unique, and when demand far outweighs supply, the prices skyrocket into the stratosphere. That is why a coin you might think is only worth face value could actually be your ticket to unimaginable wealth. Some of the most astonishing 1967 dimes are those with minting mistakes. Errors like double strikes, off-center impressions, or missing design details make these coins one-of-a-kind treasures. For example, a 1967 dime struck on the wrong planchet or misaligned during production can bring jaw-dropping prices at auction. In fact, it is these error coins that have fetched amounts in the tens of thousands and even hundreds of thousands of dollars, proving that imperfection can sometimes create perfection in the eyes of collectors. Beyond errors, condition plays a massive role in determining value. A pristine 1967 dime in mint state condition with full bands on the torch is highly sought after, since so few examples have survived without scratches, wear, or discoloration. Collectors compete fiercely for these gems, pushing prices to levels that most ordinary people would never imagine possible for a 10-cent coin. The better the condition, the higher the price, and in the rarest cases, these coins can even touch the $1 million mark when paired with unique rarity. Another fascinating aspect is the connection to America's bicentennial spirit. While the official bicentennial coinage came later in 1976, the years leading up to it saw immense patriotic energy. Collectors often tie the 1967 dime to this buildup, especially when paired with proof and special mint set coins from that era. These coins symbolize more than just currency. They embody the anticipation of a nation preparing to celebrate 200 years of independence. For many collectors, owning a rare 1967 dime is like holding a piece of the pre-bicentennial heartbeat of America. Now, let's talk about the financial impact. Imagine finding one of these dimes in your old coin jar or inherited collection. You could be sitting on wealth beyond imagination. Some collectors and dealers value certain 1967 dimes at staggering amounts, and in private sales or auctions, these rare pieces can fetch life-changing sums. A simple coin then. So the next time you come across a 1967 dime, don't just glance at it and pass it off as ordinary. Examine it carefully, look for details, and consider what it could be worth. That little piece of silver-colored metal might be your golden opportunity. Rare 1967 dimes with errors, flawless condition, or unique traits can turn you into a millionaire overnight. These coins are proof that history, artistry, and rarity can combine into something far greater than their face value. One dime can change your fortune, and the story of the 1967 dime proves it beyond doubt.